Welcome back, folks. Today we dive deep into a topic straight out of a blockbuster, the age-old tussle between pirates and naval powerhouses. But don't be mistaken, this isn't a Hollywood tale. This is real, modern, and happening today.
Ahoy, the pirates versus the US Navy. Well, that's a show I'd binge watch.
It's easy to think of pirates as just characters from the movies, with parrots and eye patches swinging on ropes. But today's pirates, they're far from that image. Believe it or not, piracy has seen a whopping 75% surge in just the last decade.
Wait, do these pirates also have a no technology after 10 p.m. rule?
Haha, no Dane, these pirates have traded swords for guns and rocket launchers. They're crafty, using high-speed boats and even sending out fake distress signals to fool their targets. Somali waters, that's their favorite haunt.
Sounds like the only signal they should be sending is an SOS when the US Navy shows up.
Precisely. Speaking of the US Navy, they've had to adapt and innovate in response to these modern threats. Water cannons, for instance, have become a popular non-lethal way to deter these maritime marauders.
Water cannons? Yes, they're giving the pirates a taste of their own wave.
Good one, Dane. These cannons aren't just for show. They can fill up a pirate boat fast, effectively stopping them in their tracks. But there's more. Ships today come equipped with reinforced defenses like razor wire and barriers, making them less welcoming for uninvited guests.
Razor wire? Man, they've got more defense than my mom's cookie jar.
And with such robust defense systems, it's a clear message to the pirates that they're not getting on board that easily. It's a new age of naval warfare, and the seas are as unpredictable as ever.
Sounds like it's less Pirates of the Caribbean and more Pirates of the Deterred by the US Navy.
We're diving deeper into the intricate web of strategies the US Navy employs against the ongoing threat of piracy. But as we peel back these layers, it's not just about warships and cannons. It's about intelligence, collaboration, and training.
So it's less yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum, and more, yo, did you get that intel from the drone?
Exactly, Dave. Let's begin with BMP, or best management practices. It's like the playbook for ships, ensuring they're prepared for piracy threats. We're talking high-speed transits, hosting lookouts, conducting anti-piracy drills, and having citadel plans in place.
Citadel plans? Sounds like they're preparing for a zombie apocalypse. Oh wait, pirates, almost the same thing.
And beyond the seas, the skies play a pivotal role. Aerial surveillance from helicopters to UAVs helps the Navy detect and relay real-time information on suspicious activities.
Eyes in the sky. Now that's what I call a bird's eye view on crime.
Sharing this information is crucial. The US Navy actively collaborates with the Maritime Security Center, Horn of Africa, and the International Maritime Bureau's Piracy Reporting Center. Sharing data, intelligence, and trends ensures everyone's a step ahead of piracy threats.
Sharing is scary, especially when it comes to stopping Jack Sparrow's distant cousins.
And let's not forget capacity building. The US Navy is actively training regional navies and coast guards, providing equipment and resources. The goal, to strengthen these forces, enabling them to combat piracy within their territories.
Sounds like a classic case of teaching a man to fish, or in this case, teaching a man to fend off pirate ships.
It's not just the Navy's efforts. Organizations like the International Maritime Bureau monitor piracy worldwide, while the United Nations has its own convention addressing piracy, UNCLOS.
UNCLOS. Sounds like someone tried to say uncles with a mouthful of popcorn.
And let's shine a light on the Combined Task Force 150, a multinational naval task force. Its mission is clear: enhance maritime security from the Gulf of Aden to the Indian Ocean, countering threats ranging from terrorism to piracy.
I love it when a team comes together. Taking on pirates, it's like an Avengers initiative, but with more boats.
It's a collective effort, Dane. But even with all these strategies, there have been some challenging encounters. In 2006, the USS Cape St and the USS Gonzalez found themselves in a gripping encounter off Somalia's coast.
Now that sounds like a story worth tuning in for. Sea battles, pirates, and the US Navy. Oh my.
Indeed, Dane. It goes to show, while we have plans and strategies, the unpredictable nature of the seas and the ongoing threat of piracy means the Navy always has to be vigilant.
Just goes to show, it's not all smooth sailing.
Picture this. 2 warships, the USS Cape St and the USS Gonzalez, patrolling the vast ocean. Out of the blue, a vessel tows a fleet of intimidating skiffs straight towards them.
Talk about a bad day at the office. First your coffee's cold, and then pirates.
Exactly, Dane. And these weren't just any pirates. Armed to the teeth, they surprised our naval vessels with a hailstorm of gunfire. However, our Navy wasn't going to stand idle. The result? An inferno sinking the main pirate vessel with 2 other skiffs captured and a dozen pirates taken prisoner.
I guess the pirates didn't read the memo. Don't mess with the US Navy.
And that's just it. Pirates are ever evolving. They're using motherships to increase their range, hijacking fishing vessels to operate under the radar, and even hacking shipping systems to gather intel.
Tech-savvy pirates. What's next? Pirate TikTok? Just try to hijack this ship. LOL, #pirate life.
With Somali pirates covering a vast expanse that challenges the Navy's patrolling capabilities, counter-piracy initiatives are ever evolving. For instance, UAVs or unmanned aerial vehicles are deployed for extended surveillance. They operate autonomously, gathering real-time data and imagery from high-risk areas.
Drones to the rescue. It's like having a remote-controlled eye in the sky. Handy for picnics and, spotting pirates.
On top of that, the Navy employs advanced sonar systems detecting underwater threats like pirate divers or submerged vehicles. And, Dane, an essential strategy is the Navy's power projection.
Flexing those naval muscles, showing pirates they mean business.
Precisely. By having a visible presence in piracy-prone areas, the Navy deters potential threats. Deploying warships, aircraft and other assets, they showcase readiness, deterring pirates through the sheer perceived risk.
So pirates see these warships and think twice. Makes sense. I'd reconsider my career choices.
In addition, the Navy's air assets provide a bird's-eye view of potential threats. The early detection of pirate activities allows for timely interventions, protecting vessels, and most importantly, lives.
So the skies are watched, the seas are patrolled. It's like a giant game of battleship, just a lot more serious.
A continuous battle indeed. Stay with us as we delve deeper into the US Navy's relentless efforts against piracy. Diving deeper into the global dilemma of piracy, we find an alarming but often overlooked aspect: the environmental consequences. Pirates, while known for their plundering, don't just stop at treasure. They wreak havoc on marine life and ecosystems.
Right. So it's not just the ahoy mateys and wooden legs. They're damaging the oceans with bad fishing practices and oil spills too.
Exactly. But thankfully, the US Navy, in its bid to ensure maritime security, doesn't just combat piracy for the protection of trade and sailors. They're also acting as stewards for the seas, preventing environmental degradation.
They're like the superheroes of the sea. Not just fighting bad guys, but also ensuring our waters remain pristine.
Well put, Dane. And while we're on the topic of the US Navy's multifaceted roles, we're curious to know if our listeners are aware of any other roles the Navy plays, both nationally and internationally. Land, sea, or even sky.
Drop those insights in the comments below. Share the knowledge. And speaking of dedication, let's take a moment to appreciate the men and women of the United States Navy. They are out there day and night, ensuring our seas remain safe from threats and environmental harm.
Absolutely. Their commitment, bravery, and the values they uphold in facing piracy and other maritime challenges are indeed commendable. They're true champions of maritime security, ensuring safety for seafarers and trade.
So if you're as awed as we are by their tireless efforts, give this video a thumbs up. Show some love, people.
The environmental impacts of modern piracy are significant, extending far beyond the immediate threat to ships and crews. Take the 2008 hijacking of the MV Fena, for instance. The MV Fena was a Ukrainian ship carrying tanks and ammunition. When pirates held it hostage off the Somali coast, it raised concerns about those weapons and ammunition possibly falling into wrong hands and potentially ending up in the sea. And then there's the case of the MT Sirius Star, a Saudi oil tanker also hijacked in 2008. The pirates could have caused a catastrophic oil spill, endangering marine ecosystems, had negotiations gone south.
I remember that. Coastal communities, already struggling with the direct threats of piracy, would have faced devastating environmental and economic impacts from such a spill.
It's evident that piracy has implications beyond just ransoms and hijacked vessels. Pirates have engaged in illegal, unreported and unregulated IUU fishing off the Somali coast, severely depleting fish stocks and threatening the livelihood of local fishermen. And this is where the US Navy, along with international partners, steps in. Not just defending against immediate threats, but also working towards ensuring the long-term health and safety of our oceans. Collaborations with marine biologists and environmental scientists have been key. Their joint operations have targeted both piracy and illegal fishing, aiming to ensure a balanced marine ecosystem.
And that's just one of the countless reasons why we should appreciate the US Navy. Defending trade routes, ensuring the safety of sailors, and safeguarding our environment.
From combating piracy to protecting marine life and ecosystems, the Navy's mission is vast. If you want to explore more maritime tales and Navy insights, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Thank you for joining us on today's voyage. Stay anchored, stay curious, and as always, sail safe.